I'm gonna show you how to eliminate resource guarding with two totally different dogs. One is fear-based, the other one, well, she's just not fear-based. For the sake of this video, I'm gonna use a bone marrow bone for the object that my dog guards. And I don't know about you, but a $100 bill is still a pretty big deal to me these days. So we're gonna say this bone marrow bone is the equivalent to the $100 bill. This bag of Instinct, which is freeze-dried food, our freeze-dried food is gonna be the equivalent of a 20. And then our good old-fashioned regular kibble, that's gonna be our dollar bills. For some people, eliminating the resource solves a problem. I could take this away and my dog would still be fine. If I didn't have this 100 in my life, I would survive. I've got other things, no big deal. But what if your resource isn't this? What if your resource is a chicken bone on a sidewalk when you're walking down the street? Or what if your $100 bill isn't something that you can actually eliminate from your life? We're not gonna cut corners over here. We're gonna work our way through it, and this is how you do it. To do this, our food is gonna be our payment system. You can turn your Instinct, you can turn your dehydrated food into 100. You can turn your kibble into 20s. And for some dogs, you can even turn your kibble into 100. But it's never gonna be valuable if you give your dog a pile of 1s and 5s and whatever in a bowl and put it out every day for them to have. And they're allowed to graze on it whenever they want. Now, if I'm trying to use my dog's daily kibble, these $1 bills, to train with my dog and to teach him or her new things, do you think they're gonna be very motivated to take these $1 bills? They don't give a shit. They get a pile of ones every single day. So they're gonna look at these ones and be like, whatever, I have more coming tomorrow. I have more in the kitchen. I have more over there that I didn't finish. I don't need your dumb ones. But if I take this away and I only give it at a certain time every single day, if I took and put this away and they didn't eat it, and I left it down for 10 or 15 minutes, and then I said, okay, well, I'm gonna put that away, and maybe tomorrow you'll wanna eat. Now, when tomorrow comes, if I offer my dog that same pile, that same couple of ones, do you think they're gonna be more inclined to take it? Probably. They're gonna catch on that, oh shit, that pile of money comes at a certain time. If I don't pony up and go collect that pile of money, I'm not gonna get any money for the day. I better take that money now. Okay, so now everything's gone up in value. Now my regular kibble is starting to move up the ranks, it's starting to be 20s. My freeze-dried has gone up to 100s because I don't give freeze-dried every single meal. This is what I use for training because it's more expensive. My freeze-dried moved up the ranks. Yes, my freeze-dried can match a $100 bill. Yes, it's that valuable. But does the freeze-dried really compete with the bone marrow? I'm gonna say, given the option to go to one or the other, my dog's gonna take this one. But rotisserie chicken, now this is a $100 bill. This can compete. Because remember, I'm always gonna give you 20s, I'm always gonna give you 5s, this is always gonna happen. We're always gonna work with this. But I'm not gonna be giving you 100s every single day. This is a big deal. When we're working with 100s, we're doing something pretty cool. In the beginning, we're gonna make it really easy for our dogs to navigate this. Remember, I said I'm starting with step 3. So we're still on step 3, and then we're gonna go to 2 and then to 1. We're gonna teach our dogs to call off of the 5s, the 1s, and the 20s. The 100s are gonna be our reward system. We're gonna put the 100s in our training pouch because we want it to be so valuable for our dogs to call off the lower value items that they don't bat an eye, they don't think twice about it. They're like, yeah, I'll take that 100 all day long, screw that $1 bill. Yes, and you guessed it, eventually we're gonna call them off the 100s. Okay, we're starting with our 1s and our 5s. The 1s and the 5s that go on the ground, my dog will never touch. When she ignores these 1s and 5s, remember what I'm gonna do? I've got 100s back here. So when she ignores them, which is just pulling her nose off, exactly what she's doing, yes, I'm gonna give her a $100 bill. And then I'm gonna take my 1s and 5s, I'm gonna move them around, I'm gonna cover it up. When she ignores them, yes, $100 bill, ready to go. Eventually, she's not gonna give a shit about these 1s and 5s. She's like, I get it. If I leave these alone, yes, $100 bill. Now she's getting it, so now I'm gonna call it something. So here's my 1s and 5s, I put it here. I'm gonna call it leave it. Yes, the second she looks away, $100 bill. Now, if you're new to this, you want your dog to make eye contact with you. Hand feeding for eye contact is originally the first step, but for the sake of time, we're not doing that in this video. You'll have to get the course or follow one of the videos below. So I'm gonna keep challenging her. I'm gonna keep putting 1s and 5s around. I'm gonna call her off of it by saying, leave it. Yes, when she leaves it, I give her a $100 bill. Remember my $100 bill back here is my rotisserie chicken. Now I'm gonna add 100 to the mix. So now I'm gonna add some chicken. Get out of here, lady. I'm gonna add some chicken to that kibble. Amp it up a little bit. Remember, the money on the ground you will never ever touch. You will never have it. I'm never gonna give my dog a release command and allow them to grab the item that I just called them off of. Even during this practice when it's just food, they're never gonna touch that food that's on the ground. I don't want them to get used to that because in the real world, if I have to call my dog off something that could potentially kill them, I don't want them waiting around to go back and grab it because we practiced it that way. Leave it. Yes, good, leave it. And that's not step 2. Practicing this, proofing this, that's just a given. One of my best friends, Sailor Jerry, talks about this all the time. She says, don't put your dog in an NBA basketball game and expect that they're gonna hit every 3-pointer on the money every single time. If you guys didn't practice, you don't do this one time and then walk down the street and there's a chicken bone and try to call your dog off of it and can't figure out why your dog didn't call off of it. How many reps did you do? 1? Your dog doesn't get it yet. You practice. This is step 2, a leash. I like to cut the handles off of these leashes. This is just one I got from the dollar store. So that handle doesn't get stuck on anything because this goes on my dog at all times. If I'm struggling with resource guarding and I don't know exactly how to navigate all this, come in. Every time my dog comes out of the crate, I'm gonna put my leash on her and just let it drag. Good girl. This drags around in the house because while we're figuring this out, I have to have a way to give her direction, communication, and feedback. If she goes to grab something and I need to say, leave it, maybe that leave it's not that strong, maybe I don't want her on the couch, any of that. This is my steering wheel. Step 2.5. I wasn't gonna put it in this video, but it's what I use for her, so I figured I might as well. I use her recall to call her off of a lot of things instead of the leave it. So if you don't have a strong recall, this is how you can train it. You're gonna do the same thing with the $100 bill system. So right here, I've got a measly little $5 bill. I'm just gonna toss it so she goes to get it. I'm gonna stay close enough to her. I have $100 bills right here. And I'm gonna say, Kuma pronto, and I'm gonna backpedal, make her come to me, and then I'm gonna give her that $100 bill. My colleague Sarah, that's always with me, she's the one that taught me how to do it this way. So you don't have to use leash pressure. I'm not giving corrections. I'm just gonna get my dog away from me. I'm gonna stay close enough with my $100 bill. Kuma pronto, yes, good girl. Just keep recalling her back to me. And then I'm gonna start increasing that distance. Now I'm all the way back over here. Kuma pronto, yes, good girl. I have the $100 bills. Every time she comes back to me, I'm giving her chicken, something high value. And then as time goes on, as we get better, I start mixing in some 5s and 10s so it's not just a pile of chicken every single time. I'm gonna give her her bone marrow in her room. She's pretty territorial over her room, the kind of dog she is, and also I let her have this whole room. But it's my dog, that's how I wanna do it, so I'm okay with it. So now if I need to call her off, and you can see I still have her leash on her. Kuma, leave it. And watch what she does. That look right there is telling me to back the fuck up. I just walked into the lion's den. She's claimed that space, that bed, and that high value bone marrow bone. If I were to reach in and grab her collar or try to get heavy with her and tell her to back off, I'm gonna land myself in the hospital. I had to build a system that relied on our relationship because in a moment like this, I'm screwed. If I try to dance with her, if I try to wrestle her to get whatever it is, I will lose all day long. She's got tiny swords built in. Pronto. Kuma. Pronto. Yes, come on. Pronto, let's go. Come on. Come on, bear. Pronto. Oh my God, great job. Good girl. Good girl. Let's go. Good job. I don't suggest repeating your command like that, but I know my dog. I knew she was so close to getting up and coming towards me So I did repeat it, and then I got a little bit more excited about it, and then I did a little bit of a back pedal. It didn't take me 10 years to get that relationship. It took a couple of months of consistency. If you're gonna leave your dog out unattended and they're resource guarding and you're still in the thick of it, you better be leaving a leash on your dog, and you better have a pile of hundreds close by so that at a given moment you can practice this. Kobe, leave it. Yes, good, leave it. Good boy. Leave it. Yes, good, leave it, buddy. Good boy. Every week, Sarah and I do a free live in the leash reactivity course. If you need more help and you have questions, you want answers, drop a comment here, and I'm probably gonna respond with, get my $20 course. See you guys in the next video.